Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Transport Fever 2 in our trains-only playthrough. Hope you're having a good Saturday, or very early Sunday, depending on where in the world you are. But last we left off, we had done a bunch of tweaks to a couple of the more annoying small things, like the loops around some of these larger cities, and discussed maybe some stuff we could do in the next stream, which is today. So, I would like to, as much as I can, get the rest of these cities connected and figure out some sort of cross-continental train route from West Covina up to probably Hollywood or Peoria. Not entirely sure. But yes, good to see everybody. I also I kind of want to redo New York City because it's kind of a mess here. And the positioning of the station here is really bad. And I honestly don't know if there is a good way to fix this without kind of destroying this other half of the city here. Because right now I can't extend these platforms because we have this underpass right here. And I have tunnels over here that are precluding me from extending the platform this way. Like if I pop in here and I want to stick a cargo platform in, it's going to let me do it, kind of, but not in a way that actually, you know, attaches to track. So I'm going to have to figure out some sort of solution. I guess, because the city wants to expand so much. It's desperate, right? It wants to. And it started building on top of the tunnel, which I can easily solve. I can just say, you know what? Goodbye, I can yeet this, delete it, and then fix the terrain a little bit. But, I don't know, I kind of think this is hilarious. One, because this is not the geography of New York City whatsoever. And two, the game decided it was appropriate to put stuff right on top of the train tracks. Which is kind of neat. First live stream been able to catch. Glad to have you. I've been pretty inconsistent on live streaming times and dates and everything. So, apologies if you've been wanting to for a while and haven't been able to, because I haven't been able to be consistent with things, but hopefully that can get a little bit better. I've had a crazy last 6 months. A whole lot of stuff going on outside of YouTube. Good stuff. Like nothing to complain about. It's just, I've been busy. So let's leave that alone for a little bit. We do have Concord over here, where we've mostly managed to solve our passenger issues by adding additional vehicles to this loop line. And of course, these people all want to go to Vancouver, which at some point should be showing up on this outside track. I actually don't know. Oh, here it is. Here it comes. And I think we've redone all of these trains. This one is still a Metroliner. Okay, no. We are we're gonna fix this. This can't be a Metroliner anymore. One, it's slow. Two, it has a very, well, slow relatively speaking. It's 120 miles per hour. It's the fastest we're gonna get for another 5 years. But 78 capacity on this route is definitely not cutting it. So what I've been doing is I've been putting in some toasters, AAM-7s. We have 124 mile per hour top speed, which, okay, it's barely faster, right? But what this allows us to do is come in here, not cargo, with the West Fleet. It's an AM fleet. That's all it ever is. And I think what I've been doing is I've been putting, was it 8 of these? 168 capacity, and then another toaster. I can't remember. I do have to be cognizant of the length of the platforms here. So if I do, well, 8 of these is already basically double capacity. Maybe a little bit more than double capacity of what we have going on right now, so I guess that's fine. You put another toaster on the end, and it says good. So, you know how this goes. You just kind of have to kludge something along until the actual prescribed thing that's supposed to fix everything shows up, which is, of course, going to be the Acela Express, which the game does not have a license for, so it names it something ridiculous. The next playthrough that I'm going to do in this game, assuming we don't get Transport Fever 3 in the meantime, the next playthrough I'm going to do in this game is going to have... Oh, look at that's funny. It occupies the same space until I decompress it. Oh, autosave. Yeah, so when this pulls away, this should stretch considerably. There we go. Look how ridiculous that is. But yeah. I'm going to integrate all of the vehicles, not just the North American ones. Doesn't help YouTube never lets me know about a stream till it's either 68 minutes in or it's been over 4 hours. Well, that's a very unfortunate, but maybe you'll take a little bit of solace in knowing that it also emails me when I'm live on my channel. As if I didn't know. And sometimes that email doesn't come until I've been live for an hour. So, you know how it goes. But yes, now that we've... Did these really come that close back to back? That doesn't seem like good spacing to me, but it's probably fine. So that should... I don't know why that has 4 dudes for just something. Because this had 4 dudes to represent 400 people earlier, and I just thought that was hilarious. So we can leave Concord alone for right now. Come back down to Port St. Lucie here, and we've got... Yeah, it looks like people just want to go around the outside, so that's fine. Minimal usage of our little orbital thing here. And this has the cargo station set up. So we have not yet connected this to the hub. And a long time ago, if you've been watching this stream series since I started, sometime last year, I think it was. Hopefully it was sometime in 2025. I had debated putting another hub on this side of the map to kind of facilitate that. And just have an arterial thing go here to here. But last episode we counted everything up, and honestly, I don't think it's going to be that bad for us to connect all of these over to here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, New York City's already connected. So we got 4, we got 5, we got 6, we got 7 cities that have not yet been connected. And over here, we do have a number of tracks that have not been used. We've got 4 here, and we've got 4 here. And honestly, a lot of these we could double up on end-to-end and just put signals on. So I think we're going to be okay to just have this come across, make a super ugly, like, 8-lane bridge, like the industrialists that we are, and then just move on. You see the new... Yes, I did. I am so excited for Transport Fever 3. It's like everything that they have done in all of those videos has been, it seems like at least, a direct answer to a criticism or a complaint or a wish list item that I've had while playing this game. And they almost certainly have never seen any of my stuff that I've made on this. But the fact that it keeps showing up makes me really, really believe that the people in charge over there are genuinely caring about making the best game they possibly can, and not on somebody else's timeline, which is what ended up happening, I think, with City Skylines 2, and they had to rush the game out. Which, apparently, the new studio that took over for Paradox, Iceflake Studios, is doing a lot of good stuff, so that's great to hear. I always wanted that game to be good. But I'm really excited. I just wish I knew when it was coming out so I could kind of plan stuff around it. Yeah, I am planning on playing a lot of Transport Fever 3 on the channel, maybe doing a video series. I tried to do the tutorial videos, and those did not do very well. And then I later found out people really hate the tutorial in this game. So maybe I'll think of some sort of interesting way to do a video series for this. I also just love streaming it, even though we haven't really gotten anything done, and I've been live for 10 minutes. But that's normal here. Anyway... So we need to get going on getting these things connected. The geography here is kind of annoying to do this. But I imagine we're probably going to be going underground for a lot of it, depending on how we want to line things up. You know how it goes. So why don't we... we got 4 tracks here. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cities over here that could be reasonably connected coming down and around this way, except the cargo station that I've got put here is not really in a great place to be connected from here, but it's also not in a great place to be connected from here. So we're going to move along from that. Milwaukee has not really developed at all because we have absolutely nothing going to it. So let's take a moment here and evaluate. Looks like it's in the middle of town. So we're probably going to want to put a cargo station on this side and make sure we have good connectivity. That is going to require that we kind of reroute this road here. So what I'm going to do is come in with that. Let's do... No, I want city streets. I want medium streets. I want no player ownership so they can actually... let's just hit pause. No player ownership so they can actually do improvements to it. This disconnected goes down. Okay, we don't care about that. We don't need to have this here. In fact, this is going to be in the way. So we'll just remove that. I have no plans on using any of this industry over here. Unless demand, well, demands it, I don't think it's going to be... I don't think it's going to be a problem. So, that's underground. I don't want to disturb that. Let's come in with... I wish I could snap this to perfectly straight. Okay, well, it kind of snaps. Just a little bit. You have to be in exactly the right spot. Okay, let's see if I can get this connected over to here. Looks good. So what this is going to do is kind of establish a new nexus for industrial growth. We do need the 320-meter tracks. I don't think we need 2 tracks, but you might as well. Honestly, just go ahead and put in 2 tracks. And I'm going to put this right here because then we can have a road go through this if we have to. But this station is going to benefit enormously from some side buildings in various locations. We can actually connect to things here. Okay, this actually might not be connected to anything because of the oh boy. That's foul. Let's fix that because we do have the ability to kind of influence the terrain here. Let's just lower this down just a tiny bit so it looks a little less horrific. Yeah, just bring this around the level of the station so that we can have, you know, a fighting chance of actually having something that doesn't look completely garbage. And then I don't think I need it on this side necessarily, but we can smooth it out, make things look just a tiny bit nicer. And of course, this is all in service of actually having connections. So now we have a connection there. How about that, huh? Let's bring that all the way out to here, and then again, I'm going to give it a connection to where eventually they could have things cross the tracks if they want to expand across this way. So, no. This connects to all, or most of the stuff I want it to connect to industrial-wise. They will build things out, density will increase, so on and so forth. So that's cargo only. Passenger stuff probably should be a separate station, but that's a problem we can solve later. I just want to get the city growing and get everything connected. So this is kind of a disadvantageous situation in terms of placement, because when you have to have everything close to where it's going to be used. But I really would have liked it if I could have put this on this axis or this axis, because this is... it's not great. Fortunately, the cargo trains can go a lot slower and it not really be that big of a deal. So if that's going to go in that way, let's bring in from these 4 tracks. None of this is high speed yet. It needs to be so everything can go faster. We're just going to build absolutely everything high speed as we continue going along. So we have this here. New York already has a connection. We've established that. That's a passenger line. We can probably go over this, but I want to attempt and make a not completely garbage bridge over here. So let's check this out. Of course, it has to be this boring flat concrete to get the maximum speed. Actually, you know, cargo's never going to go faster than 99 as far as I can remember. So 112 for this isn't terrible. 56 is. That is ridiculous looking. We don't have to worry about navigability because there's no ships in this playthrough. But this could be an issue. I don't think I can go underneath this. That's not enough height. We will see. I am actually kind of interested to see if I can make this work. So 186 miles an hour here. Okay, first of all, in real life, you'd never build this. This would be, you'd be laughed out of any architectural, engineering, or planning meeting that you'd ever go to, and they'd just say, what the heck's wrong with you? So that means we're going to do it. All right. Like I said, this isn't... Are you serious? It just lets me do it? No way. That never happens. That never happens in this game. So, I guess I'm a liar. It's not a great position for me to find myself in, but I'm actually kind of surprised. Okay, also this needs to be changed to a different type of bridge anyway, because we're about to have things that can go way faster than 112. So, maybe there's hope after all. Let's see if I can get this to bind itself here. It doesn't seem like it wants to. Let's come down here. I'm gonna have the most obnoxious 4-track main line possible, because that's how we roll. Literally. As long as you're not a loot... Okay, so this is about to tell me that I can't do this. Why? Because this is supposed to be... This is supposed to be attached, because all of these were attached. Is this just an issue of the terrain is not going to be kind enough to do this? All right, let's increase the brush size a little bit, and I guess raise this up. I should make an attempt to keep this all smooth. This is almost certainly not helping my case here, trying to get these things connected. Now you might be saying, why in the world are you trying so hard to get these things to match up nicely when you have only one city to connect right now? And the answer to that question is because I got distracted and I got analysis paralysis on a bunch of stuff, and I just want to get it done. So one here and then one here. So these 2 tracks that I'm doing right now are one's going to go to Milwaukee, one's going to come down to West Covina. I do not have a cargo station, but I have my loop here, which is going to create some interesting problems, because all of my cargo stuff is smack dab in the middle of town, and I don't have a good way to get in here with the train station. Best I could probably do would be to come over here, but that doesn't connect to all of our industries, so I wonder if I built a new cargo station on the outside of town, if it would redevelop around that. It probably would. I don't remember if I've got player ownership of these. I thought I was pretty... No, it's like these are all player ownership. I don't want it to be player ownership. Okay, it's red. It's red if it can be modified to the desired state. It's blue if it cannot, because it's already... Okay. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Well, regardless, I think I'm going to have to... I'm going to have to stop pausing in the middle of sentences, because I'm sure that's very annoying. I'm going to have to get this connected here. That is not straight, and that's going to bug me until the cows come home, and I don't even have any cows. So that's going to be a long time. How many times have I made that joke? I don't even think it's that funny. Yes, let's put the pedestrian connection between two different roads, but no cars. Can't do that. Okay, so that's going to take that there. The reason I went ahead and put another station building on this side is so that eventually, when this gets built up over here, it can become much less of an issue. All right, I will just So I'm just going to go ahead and put this in here. So you'll note that this actually has a decent amount of coverage to the existing part of the town. But we can do better. And I don't need to have this depot here anymore. Actually, let's make sure there's nothing in here. Okay. It wouldn't let me do it, demolish it, even if it did. The reason I'm going to put a... whatever I was going to say in here. Oh, who's the genius that put the crossover right there? Okay, that's gone. I don't think I need any more of those anyway. That was for placement of things. The reason I'm doing this is so that at the south end, I guess we'll just call this south, we'll call this west. I'm going to put in another station building so that we can have... well, not on that elevation, I'm not. I know this is everybody's absolute favorite thing to see is me playing with the terrain tools. But I promise you, I assure you, dear viewer, this is actually for a real purpose. Okay, let's come... nope, not that. Let's come in here with a side building. And that will connect there, but I should probably put a real building. So that may have increased our... okay, not really. I tried. I tried, folks. I really did. Anyway, they're gonna continue building things, hopefully, and we'll get that taken care of. So now we need a train line. I don't even need the 2 tracks here. Oh well, life goes on, and this is an absolute geological nightmare over here. I don't think I want a tunnel coming out. I'm going to leave this 1 track open in case I need to connect to something else. Let's just have this come out here. Does this connect to anything important? No, it does not. It's just mines that we wouldn't be using anyway. At least not right now. I'm trying to avoid stupid grade crossings because, well, it ends up being kind of stupid. So if that comes through all the way down here... the game doesn't really need to be paused for me to do this. It's just a... oh, it's a train line, isn't it? Can't have that! Is this below? It is. Okay, so... what I need to do is I need to come up... probably this is enough? If I had to guess. Okay, and I don't want that. I want... maximum speed. I do not want it to be something completely stupid. Ugh, it's too bad that doesn't work. It is going to force me to build a stupid bridge with absolutely nothing going for it here. Well, that's fine. We'll just have it go. No, why would I want to do... no. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Don't make me do that. I want this to go... well, first of all, it has to be over 100 miles per hour, because that's the speed of the endgame freight stuff. Can I go? I can. That's probably a little too steep, but you know the rules, and so do I. It doesn't matter. So that is going to be 100-something. That is quite steep. That's got like a... it's got like a little hunchback here. We might regrade this in a minute. Let me just get this up to 113. I don't think there's anything that can actually go that fast, freight-wise, but it's easy enough to get this up over 120, so we're not going to worry about it. Okay. So, now that this has been established... oh, so now it's angry. Now it is angry. Okay. I can't really lower this either, which is... unfortunate. I may have to get this. Let's try that. It may have to have something directly across to connect to without it being a huge pain in the butt. Yeah, this didn't change anything. This has done absolutely nothing. I do remember seeing in one of those videos that they have substantially improved everything that I've just done here in terms of, you know, actually terraforming and moving right of way and everything. So I am very much looking forward to using those tools. This coming through here. I want to make sure I have enough room here to make this nice turn. I guess. I want this to be... Not that the trains are going to be coming in full speed anyway, but if I have an opportunity to do it not stupid, then I think I would like to take that. So this here, assuming the remainder of my thing here is fine, 120. I think I can live with that. And that actually lines up pretty well here. So let's come out, do this, and then match these up. Oh, hey, Kurt. Off to IKEA to shop for kitchen cabinets. Have fun. I say 3 minutes after they said that. But, yeah. Man, I haven't been to IKEA in a long time. Last time I went, they had the restaurant closed, which was annoying. And then they had half of the upstairs, like the display area, blocked off for renovations. Which, okay, you have to do it at some point. Like, I guess that's fine. But, like, really? Really? Yes, I don't live close to it. So that was a little annoying. Then I submitted customer feedback, and then I felt kind of bad because I might have been a little bit mean. I don't like being mean. But it was my mom's birthday, and I'd taken her there. It's like, yeah, I want to go to IKEA. It's like, okay, yeah, I'll take you to IKEA. And then we get there, and you can't get your meatballs. You can't look at anything. Like, oh, come on, man. Like, you make me mad. That's on you. You make my mom, like, upset. No, it's over. It's over for you. You're done. Anyway, let's move on and get this connected straight through. Now, does this give us at-grade crossings? Ooh, it absolutely does. So we're going to have to come up and over. And this does not need to be here. That is actually a terrible place for it. Because somebody just kind of indiscriminately put rail lines everywhere like an absolute genius. Let's move on. Let's get that to... Yeah, the problem with doing this way... Wait a second. You see this, right? You see why this is a problem, right? I kind of want to do it just because it's stupid. But I'm not going to. Emotional damage. I don't have enough flip-flops for that. The restaurant's one of the best parts. Yes, it absolutely is. Like, okay, it's restaurant food. Like, objectively, it's not, like, amazing quality stuff. But it's fun. It's one of those things you go in, and you get to just... You have a nice time. And that's part of the whole appeal of everything, to me at least, is the experience. Like, okay, yeah, if the food's good, great. But you get to go in there, you get to look at a whole bunch of, like, you know, press board, whatever kind of objectively not very good furniture, and you get to have a good time. It's not supposed to be... Okay, why is it done this? No. Stop it. Get some help. Get back down to the... It really thought it was necessary to make that a... Okay, well. I guess if it really, really wants this, who am I to say no? I don't want like a 4-mile viaduct for no reason, but I do want this to go over. Tell you what, let's come in from the other end because I think that's going to be slightly easier. So I don't want that. I do want this to cross safely here, but I think the key is to have the thing already leveled out before you go across, or else you're gonna have some pretty annoying stuff happen. And I definitely, if that's coming from here, I want this to be already kind of curved. That can still be 186 at that spot, huh? Okay. All right, so that is. Well, I guess I should figure out if this... I don't want this. I never want this 56-mile-per-hour bridge. Stop it. But it's going to let me do this. Did the game accidentally do exactly what I wanted it to? Outstanding. Very good. I love it when that happens. How do you write Czech Republic? C-Z-E-C-H. In English. I don't actually know Czech as a language. I should, given heritage reasons, but in English it is C-Z-E-C-H. So, I need to actually get this. You know, that actually looks kind of nice. We'll need to redo it in a minute. Oh, okay. You got your tongue-in-cheek comments in. Okay. I see you. I see you, Jason. Too much slope. No, nonsense. I want to take a train going 100 miles an hour just like this, like a roller coaster. Then it hops off the track and then everybody dies. Let's not do that. But I'm not going to redo this. I'm going to get this over to here. I guess a giant berm is fine as long as I can get across. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no, no. 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 Okay, let's fix this. That is probably not... That's also not going to be ideal. I'm not taking the bridge out. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. What I will do is I will have this come up. Yeah, see, this was trying to get back down to the ground when it was not supposed to be back. No, I don't want all that to be a giant thing. Can I, no, I cannot. I want fine adjustment of this. Oh, did I accidentally find the key for fine adjustment? Okay. New rule. We're not going back down to the ground. The whole thing has to be a... Really? Okay. Oh. Yeah, remember when I was, you know, praising this game for how much I enjoyed how easy it was to work with things, and then it turned around and laughed at me? Yeah. Okay, well. No, I don't want it. Stop. Stop. Cease and desist. Okay, so now I just have to... No. No. See, now... Okay, now the problem is I can't remove the bridge. Because if I did, then Jason's snarky comment over here would actually be prescient, and I can't have that. See, but you were accidentally completely right. You win. You didn't know you were playing the game, but you still won. Okay. And honestly, this is what I should have done the whole time anyway. No, 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 no. Okay, there you go. And that does just about... No, there you go. That is... Okay, this is absolutely horrible. Let's just straight connect from here to here. I'll just take this all out. And I probably don't need that either. All right, so what might happen here is it might try to... Okay, that's an okay spot for a tunnel. That's fine. As long as this height-wise... Okay, that actually looks... This is kind of a sharp curve here. Actually looks decent, so we'll roll with that. All right, now I just have to double all of this. And that is going to bring me up to here. Too much slope! Why? Why are you the way that you are? Just don't do that. Don't do that. Alright, if I do... Why? Why? Why are you like this? Stop it. Stop it. Okay, I'm going to have to come at it from both sides. I may also have to... modify this. No! No, 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 no. Don't do that. Don't... Alright, new plan. See, this is why I do this with the game. You absolute buffoon. Okay. This is why I do this while the game is paused. This would not be possible. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, we are going under. We're going under today. Do you know what under means? Yes, you do. Very good. No! Stop it. Okay. Too much slope. Wah. I'm a little baby man who doesn't understand geography. Okay. I'm so glad this is getting improved with the next game. That was so annoying. Okay. Now, after much weeping and gnashing of teeth, we have created successfully, maybe, cargo to West Covina and to Milwaukee. So, that is going to come from here down to here, and we're going to call this... Could not connect all stations? What do you mean you can't connect all stations? Figure your life out. I clicked the right one. Right? Wait a second. I absolutely did not. Okay. Well, let's try that again. Let's try that again. I don't want that. I don't want that. Let's delete it. There we go. Okay. Before I yell at the game, I should make sure it's actually the game's fault. There we go. Good job. All right. This is now... Nope. I can't redo my naming convention the entire time. This is... Uh-oh. Okay. This is West Covina Mixed Freight Express. That's in this playthrough what I've named those things. Okay. So now that I know I have to do that one. Milwaukee. Oh, boy. So those two are done. And now what I can do is I can... Oh. I can use this same exact... Maybe not. This one doesn't need new trains anymore. I can just modify what's already there, right? That is Billings, and it does have one, right? Yep, with the big boy, no less. And then Indianapolis has one also with the big boy. Okay, well, pretty soon we're not going to be able to do the big boy anymore. And I don't really think we need to keep it outside of the cool factor. Alright, come on. There we go. So those are both connected. Now, okay, let's check and see what these guys need. Milwaukee doesn't need much. They want machines and they want goods. And we did start making goods, technically. And that is one of the ugliest things I've ever created. So, machines and goods. I suppose, well, the E60C is not bad. It's got a lot of tractive effort, so I'm going to use it because that's what I have access to. So both of those things go in a boxcar. We'll give it 4, and we'll send this to work on the Milwaukee line. And then what does West Covina want? Probably, okay, fuel and bread and food. It's not bread, but I'm going to... It's like when you're playing Settlers of Catan. Nobody ever calls it wool. They just say sheep. At this rate, you're going to have to delete the river. Well, I guess technically that is possible. Railroads have actually done stuff like that in the Golden Age, I guess you could say. Okay. Maybe my tank car. We'll start with 2, and then we'll send this to West Covina, which should be way down here at the bottom. All right, let's ride the train to West Covina, shall we? Nope. Get back on the train. Amtrak Phase 2 livery, for those of you who know and or care. Who has attempted to call me while I am on stream? Is it another one of those 8,000 scammers? Okay, yes it is. You're pre-approved for a loan of... No, I don't want a loan. I don't need a loan. Stop it. I have blocked thousands of phone numbers in the past year from these people that just keep calling me saying I'm pre-approved. Like, no, I'm not. Board games. I don't actually play very many board games anymore because I don't live with people who are into board games. But when I did... when I was in college, and then during the pandemic, we played a lot of, well, Settlers of Catan. We played, oh, what is that other, like a bunch of those like situational like party card games. Not like Cards Against Humanity. That was played out like 10 years ago. Let's see. Exploding Kittens was one that got pretty regular rotation. Any of those kind of deck builder party game type things. Did a bunch of those. Let's see. Any given, D20 system RPG, I've probably played it. Various things like that. Trying to remember what some of these were called. It's been a long time. I wish I could remember what they're called. If we ever see Beans Universe in chat, ask Beans, because Beans was there. That is a very intriguing take on the railroads, Kurt. I don't know that I can necessarily agree. But I guess it depends on where you are in the world, and I know things are a whole lot different over where you are. Objectively speaking, per passenger mile and per pound of freight mile, or however you want to do it, trains in the U.S., even if they are diesel operated, which is like 99% of the trains in the U.S., well, at least for freight, it's actually some of the least pollution per pound of freight transported per mile, just because the trains are so long. So even though, yeah, okay, they're burning diesel fuel, which I guess technically they're electric trains that have built-in generators, diesel prime movers, whatever, beside the point. It doesn't pollute that much, relatively, per pound of freight transported, compared to a truck, or compared to an airplane when you factor in all the other stuff about jet fuel and the cost of building the plane and all the materials and all that. Passenger trains in the U.S. are a disaster. Yes, the whole world knows this. But in terms of how railroads conquered the whole transport... why can't I not words today? In terms of how railroads conquered transportation and the social effects and the environmental effects of building the railroads and early rail transport with coal and wood burning and everything, yeah, okay, there's some bad stuff's happened. But since that infrastructure in a lot of parts of the world has been in place for 100 to 150 years or more, I don't know that it's fair to say that across that entire span of time, compared to the alternatives that it could have replaced and did replace, I don't know that it's fair to say it's like automatically all bad. But there's definitely been some dumb stuff that's happened. Settlers of Catan is a great game. It's also a great game for getting people really, really mad. You can have a whole lot of fun. Trying to catch up with rail. Buddy, I live in the United States. The only good part about our rail system here is the efficiency of the freight network. And even those folks are trying to run things as fast as possible with precision scheduled railroading and taking these giant 2-mile trains down to one person operating. You can't do that. You can't do that. Yeah, mountains are definitely a problem. That is like the biggest obstacle to trains, especially high speed, is any changes in terrain, elevation, whatever. Because tunneling is just so monstrously expensive. And, the Swiss, the Germans, are really good at doing that because they've had to. But it's really expensive to hire them to come in with their machines and tunnel all this stuff. Like, they had to do, in the city of Atlanta, there was an old abandoned quarry that got turned into a park and got turned into a reservoir. And the city of Atlanta had to connect that to some aspect of the water system. They had to bring in a tunnel boring machine from Europe. And I forget how much it cost. It was some unbelievably expensive, just huge quantity of money. And I was just like, really? Like, why? Why does it cost so much money? But then you think about, okay, well, like, there's no American companies that can do this. Not to the degree that any of the European companies can do. I don't know if anybody in Asia does it. China probably does, but I don't think the United States is going to be doing any of that. In our own country, at least. It deeply frustrates me. I'm going to try real hard to have this not go off on a political tangent, because that only invites problems. But it deeply frustrates me how dedicated this country is across all aspects of politics to just deliberately make it impossible to improve anything. Whether it's red tape or just pure malice. It makes me unbelievably angry. River barges are also really good. It depends on where you are, your geography or whatever. Obviously, the United States geographically has a tremendous advantage in terms of transporting goods on rivers, because we have this whole Mississippi River system. All you got to do to get it, from north to south, you just kind of float it, and you have a tugboat to make sure it doesn't go into the side of the river or whatever. Going upriver takes a considerably larger amount of effort, but you can just float stuff down the river and you're good to go. It's like basically just literally going with the flow. And that was a thing for a very, very long time. Even before you had like steamships and stuff, they just, all right, here you go. Make a raft, float some stuff down the river, and there you go. Loving the streams. Glad you're here. We're not really getting a whole lot done right now because I got on a train tangent. But yeah, there's not a lot of places in the world where river barge transport is really viable. And most of the places that have already been developed would have taken advantage of that already. There was a bit in my AP World History class I took in high school. We did a whole unit on why cities develop where they do historically, with references to different ancient civilizations and everything. And it usually boils down to... boils, get it? Because water. It usually boils down to, is there a river nearby? And are you in between two other existing settlements? And they're just like, all right, well, there you go. You're on the river. You're in the middle between City A and City B. Stop here overnight. Congratulations. You got a settlement. And then thousands of years later, people still live there. The kite lightning guy. Kite lightning guy, if that's what we're going to call him, is an absolutely fascinating individual with many different interests that may or may not be appropriate for discussion in these streams. But yeah, definitely look into some of his private life if you're into that kind of stuff. It's hilarious, some of the comments that he's made. Well, now that you call him Kite Lightning Guy, that's the only thing I'm ever going to call him, because oh, I can't stop laughing, man. Yes, Jason. Yes, that's exactly what I was referencing. Well, we'll say that Benjamin Franklin was an appreciator of mature women, which, yeah, all right, cool. All right, we have to actually do something. We actually have to do something, or this is going to be a completely unproductive stream. Let's see, is Milwaukee getting what they want? They're not getting any goods. Is that because we're out, or is that because everyone else has sucked them all up? Well, I guess those are technically the same thing. Yep, Benjamin Franklin appears on the U.S. $100 bill, despite not being a president. He, a great many things Benjamin Franklin has contributed to American society with. So, time to move on. We've connected Milwaukee, West Covina. I've got a lot of people waiting to go. Oh, never mind. It's only 30. New York's already connected. I've got two more tracks here. Come out to here. I need to connect Chattanooga and the Volvo 5000. I need to connect Chattanooga and Port St. Lucie, so that is going to mean I have to go across these. Actually, should probably go this way and not follow this. Let's map this out. I got Chattanooga without a cargo station so far. Oh, that's annoying. They're on this side. So this is the main transfer station. I could, depending on how I wanted to play my cards here, I could put in a freight station up here and just completely cut this off, because we do have these loop routes. I think given the fact that all of the industry is on this side, that might be what we want to do. Maybe. Also, this is already way up here, so it wouldn't be that bad of an idea. Okay, I'm going to do a bad thing and commit eminent domain to an extreme degree. Where is this going? Oh, they're gonna get real mad if I take that away. Well, then you have to take the train. I own the roads. I decide where you go. So we'll just conveniently remove those options from the table. These little 1850 dirt roads out of here. Nobody cares about that. I already have all these other cities complaining about not having any connectivity, so. It's also so much easier to build. Oh, there are cards on there. Oh, well. Should have thought about that before you decided to defy me. Okay. What I will do is I will raise up the center of this. Because I have to be able to get the train over these tracks and this road. So this is going to be so hideously ugly. Let's just raise this to that point. I think that should be enough to clear. We're going to find out. I can always lower this if I have to, but now I've got to remember how to use the not the flatten tool. Ha 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 ha. Now this should automatically level everything if I do this correctly and I don't have to play with the terrain too much more. But I am just super interested. No, 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 no. You cannot. No, stop it. Get some help. I want to not have this looking like this. I need this to be sufficiently high. First of all, let's make sure this is lined up correctly. It's very hard to, No, 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 no. There we go. Very hard to tell exactly what it is I'm doing here. No. There we go. There we go. Alright, how do I... Aha! Oh, yes. Mistakes have been made. Granting me this level of autonomy here is not a wise choice. Okay, that is from here probably the least stupid way to do this. Now, I probably didn't need the 2 tracks, but let's collision. No, 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 no. No, you're not collisioning here. You're definitely not collisioning here. The homes are a distraction. Oh no. Oh no. I think I have to raise this. Literally destroy and then also literally increase in height. So let's come back to here. Period key raises. Has to come up to... Oh, that's not... Okay, this is closer. It's so hard to get a grasp on what the actual height of anything is. Let's go a little bit more. And if I put it in the middle here, it's not going to be quite as to, you know. Look how stupid this is. Okay. Smooth tool. If you can do anything. If you can do anything at all. Just do this. I'm going to get myself into trouble. One, because I have other things I really need to do today, and I'm not going to want to stop doing this. But, 2, because this is absolute abomination. Well, I've done worse. At least Chattanooga in real life is a very hilly city. Yeah, look at that. Look at us go. Look at that. I love it when a plan comes together. Don't you? Let's have this go right up to 100 miles per hour. Okay. So, now that we've committed crimes against Skyrim and her people, look at these buttresses. Okay. Let's move over here. Oh, this lag. Okay, so this is... Yikes. This is going to connect to these two tracks, which are going to be now... That's underground. It's going to be coming out straight this way, probably going underground. Straight line from there brings us to here. Okay, so we do want this to go like that. Okay. Then I can probably just straight line connect it, and we'll be done. So, what that means is these two are going to stop doing this. We do lose the lovely 4-track spanning gantry for the catenary here. But that is a sacrifice I am willing to make. And in fact, these don't have to 4-track at all. We can just come straight out. I know I wasted all that money building that, but that's fine. Okay, so this goes straight the way across, except not like that. I do want my full speed. I built worse. And then that comes out, I guess like this. Did it change them back? No. Okay. So now this road does not need to exist and will be a hindrance to our progress. So that will go away. In fact, I can just get rid of all of this. I probably should at some point before I'm done with this trains only playthrough actually go delete every single road that is not in a city. Because then at that point it will truly be trains only. And then they can cry about it if they can't get where they want to go. Where? There we go. So, Chattanooga and then Port St. Lucie, like I said, those can just continue being the same thing. Let's get this connected here. I should be able to just drag this all the way across without it being a huge pain in the butt. There we go. Now is the time where I have to figure out my solution here. And I think I may be able to just straight line connect this. Okay, so that straight line connects all the way, and look how deep that goes. To be fair, this is a mountain range, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised. So that becomes a tunnel here. Port St. Lucie is going to be the same kind of story coming up over there, and I do already have a cargo station for that. All right, you know, casual $44.2 million tunnel for 4 miles. That's actually probably cheaper than it would be in real life. Hey, Profoto. We're just messing around here, creating an absolute abomination of a of a train station for the lovely city of Chattanooga. That's definitely not a thing. Okay. Oh yeah, this is going to cause problems. This is going to be a severe issue. Is this actually... Yes, okay. That's fine. Let's eminent domain these folks here. And then bring this closer to where we were trying to go. Remember, we have our lines going underground, coming from here. What I will probably do is have this go underground so it matches, and then we can just do direct connect if it chooses to allow that, which is going to come out, not there, going to come out here. So, it does not like my ideas. It wants to have junctions at every possible opportunity. That's already gone up here. I may have to redo these lines, but oh, that is foul. This is I'm surprised these underground ones still haven't meshed. Okay. So if I start from here, is that going to change? Because now we're super far underground. Is that going to change how this works? Too much slope. Okay, we already knew this was a problem. But where is the too much slope part? It's not back here? Alright, well, we know at the very least that this is doable here. So that connects down to here. I need to make sure this is still underground. And then I need to get underneath. Okay. See, this is where... Oh, you can't go underneath these, can you? Okay, that's a little bit of a problem. So this now... Okay, I don't want this and this to be connected here. I definitely don't. So let's see, is that going to... Yes. Okay, don't want that. Okay, that doesn't seem like it's going to still be connected, but I can't really tell. I wish I could just see underground. Ugh, I'm doing terrible things here. But if I'm crossing at this angle and it's not a not an actual crossing, then it's probably fine. Okay, because I go up here and then it tells me what this is. I'm just gonna assume that's okay. And then I've got to come up here, which means I should be alright. Let's make sure this doesn't... Yeah, okay. Actually, if I go down enough here, I can clear both of these. Let's bring this up to here. That is... No, that's not going to work. Let's do that, and then let's do this. Because that makes it so that this... Yeah, these are on different planes. That is pretty steep. But it's under here. And then that is still maximum speed. Okay. That is hideous, and in the real world, you would be probably shot on sight if you proposed that. But we don't live in the real world. We live in the game world, and the game world says, LOL, do that, it would be funny. So, Chattanooga. And there, over to Port St. Lucie. I can't ever say things correctly. No, I can't spell things correctly either. Mixed freight. Okay. Now the fun part of the Chattanooga experiment here is actually getting this connected. So, probably the easiest way to do this is going to be just making a... No, not like that. Making a street up here and then having these all connect to it. Which... Yeah. I really don't like this. But at the same time, it's okay. It's going to be alright. Let's just attempt to smooth this out so it doesn't look quite so awful. And then they'll take care of building everything else out. I don't think it's going to be a problem. And the reason I put this up here is because all of the industrial stuff is all the way on this side of the city. If we come over here and... Yeah, so it can't really reach everything, but in due time it'll all make its way down there. I will throw them a bone with this and this here, which yeah, they're hideously ugly. But if I do this is an absolute just disaster here. If I do one of these numbers... Oh, that disconnected it. Okay, well that means I have to come this way. You ever think about the background music for this game and they just, for this track, we're just like telling some guy with a talk box to just go absolutely wild? All right, now. No way. Okay, never mind. Too much slope. So that does extend the reach on that side a little bit. Oh, this is bad. This is just foul. Too much slope. Is there ever a point on this where it's not? Okay, that's actually pretty bad. Can I lower this up? No, I cannot. Okay. That does go down. It do go down. I have to leave this alone or I'm going to have an anxiety attack thinking about it. So, not literally. Let's get that turned on. And what does Chattanooga want? They want tools, machines, fuel, and food. Let's remember that. And then I need to connect... No, I need to connect these tracks. Is that actually going to let me do that? That's hilarious. Okay. So now, Chattanooga needs a choo-choo. E60C. They wanted... Wow. Okay, 3 of those things fit in boxcars. So let's do 6 boxcars and 2 tank cars to start. That goes to Chattanooga. And then over here in Port St. Lucie, they want building material. They're not going to get building materials. And then those 3 go in a boxcar. All right. Easy enough. And I just replace those with flat car. Okay. Then that goes to Port St. Lucie. There we go. All right, now I can finally look at chat. Let's just follow... Let's follow these guys for a little bit. Yeah, the things that I do in this game should never, ever be tolerated in real life, but it's a game, so you can get away with it. Let's see. City Skylines 1 road building was so much better with mods. City Skylines 2 road building actually wasn't bad in the vanilla game. It did still have a couple of things that were annoying. Yeah, without node editing, it's almost unusable. Yeah, I thought this was going to be a little bit more interesting than just, you know, forever tunneling, but I was also the one that built forever tunneling, so I guess I should not have been surprised. See you, Gary. Thanks for being here. Oh, that sounds fun. Cycle tour. Let us know how that goes. I've never been to Mexico. Well, mainland Mexico. Been to part of Cozumel on a cruise when I was like 9. Oh, there's the email that YouTube has told me that I'm live on my channel. Thank you for letting me know. I had no idea. All right, now I do want to see, before we move on, I want to see how much stuff this actually takes from the hub on its first real trip. Hello from the skies above. We got Wi-Fi on a plane or what? 1 piece of bread and 8 machines. Okay. Alright, let's leave that alone for a little bit. Okay, the concern with the tunnel, also, no part of this side of the map is flat. I don't know why you had that impression, but I got a lot of crisscrossing rail lines and stuff here, and it's very annoying to try and get diamond crossing set up in a way that doesn't make me want to shoot myself. So I just go in here and build tunnels. I also like trains. Yes, very, very good. Yeah, UP is Union Pacific. Which technically, depending on how you consider corporate mergers, corporate acquisitions in terms of retaining identity, the modern day Union Pacific arguably is actually the Rio Grande Western because of how they did mergers. But technically, the Union Pacific is the only American Class 1 railway to still retain its original branding from like that middle 19th century. They've absorbed so many other railroads, and then technically the merger with the DRGW the 80s, 90s, I can't remember when that was. Technically wasn't Union Pacific, but nobody really cares except people who spend too much time online talking about trains. And the locomotives still have the orangey yellow on them, so that's all anybody cares about. Plane Wi-Fi apparently has gotten a lot better in the past 5-10 years. I think United has Starlink. I don't know what everybody else uses. But I've very regularly, if I've got friends who are traveling, they'll send me a message like, oh, I'm on an airplane right now. I was like, wait. Okay, the last time I got on a plane was like 2014, 2015 maybe. And Wi-Fi on the plane, I don't even think was a thing at all. Yes, this shuttle thing, I was pretty proud of for how this developed. I do wish this game had better options for single unit actual trains. Because right now in this era, the only one we have is a Metroliner under electric. And this is huge. This is completely unnecessary for that. Now, I know the function of this is supposed to be build a streetcar, but for the purpose of the trains only achievement, streetcars don't count as trains. They count as buses. So I am stuck using these D300s or whatever these are called. I can't even look at what it is. But, you know, I wish they would have included something like the rail diesel car, what Bud made in the middle of the 20th century. It didn't really get a ton of use outside of major metro areas, and Canada used a bunch of them for different services. But essentially, it's a self-propelled rail car with a diesel engine. That's why it's called the rail diesel car or whatever. But it's basically the perfect type of vehicle for something like this, and it's slightly newer than one of these and would have had maybe a little bit bigger capacity. And also really historically significant in the US, so I don't know why that got skipped for this game. The developers are European, so I don't expect them to know all the minutia of American railroad history or anything. Delta's still using T-Mobile. I'm surprised they can get cellular internet at 35,000 feet. You cannot get achievements if you don't have mods. Or if you have mods, you cannot have achievements. So for this playthrough, there's no mods. Cargo trams are coming in Transport Fever 3, and I am very excited. I am very, very excited for Transport Fever 3. So I've got a lot of fun things I'd like to do that this game does not allow you to, and it seems like Transport Fever 3 is going to allow me to do. Okay. Okay, stuff is getting reached pretty nicely. they started building industry on these horrible hillsides here. Oh, I love this game. I love this game so much. This is an absolute disaster. I probably should just raise the entire half of the city and then gradually slope it, but Can you have mixed passenger or freight trains? Yes. Yes, you can. I just prefer not to do it that way because it gets really messy, especially with this kind of setup. This would be a nightmare unless you had every other one of these had like a passenger platform. It would be very hard to actually have goods exchanged over here. So I have filled up this minus any expansions I do on that side. I've got 1 track left. This goes, I don't remember where. I've got 4 here, and then technically I could connect to here, but might cause problems. So I've got 4 other tracks left. We have connected Milwaukee, West Covina, Chattanooga, and Port St. Lucie. This already has a connection, even though it's terrible. And then we've got Flint, Miramar, and Concord. All kind of in a line, which is convenient. For routing purposes, at least. God, I hope it doesn't include Hyperloop. What a absolute... I'm not going to say swear words on my live stream, but... completely stupid. Just build a train. Oh yeah, the Tesla tunnel that just... doesn't do anything except cause traffic jams in the Tesla tunnel. Do you use alternate platforms? No, I don't have any mods on this. Oh no, you're talking about for these trains. No, I have dedicated lines per platform. So trains, and I know that's not quote unquote the right way to play the game. It's just easier instead of me sitting here for 20 hours trying to figure this out. When I am in my other playthrough where I am doing trucks and trains and airplanes and everything, then yeah, I've got those all set up for alternate platforms. But for these, I don't think it makes any sense because they just have their own platform and their own track. So minus a few very specific circumstances, like right here when these 2 lines share this, I don't even have to worry about it. I promise you it's not easier for me to figure it out. Like, it would take you hours to explain it to me, and even longer for me to implement, and that would not be a respectful use of my viewers' time. I'd have to do that offline. These guys don't have any cargo at all. And they're all on that side, which means I should connect cargo to this side of the town. So what I'm going to do... Yeah, see, this is not going to be... This is not going to be... Why did I build this like this? It's not going to be easy to get cargo connected in here unless I came in tunnel-wise into here. But that could just be a stub station, maybe? Like, I know you're like, your whole thing with these streams is to try to help me like figure out how to do stuff better, but I don't understand instruction via text very well, and also this entire network is set up to have absolutely no need for alternate platforms because everybody has their own. I am almost 100% certain if I try to make a big train yard with all the tracks combining, it would just wreck everything because then pathing would get confused. I'm trying to figure out if I can get a freight train to go under this. This is all industrial, so... I mean, I generally don't sugarcoat things, and maybe that makes me come off as callous or rude or whatever, but I don't really see a point in, like, trying to sugarcoat anything. It's just, like, the actual truth is I'm just not smart enough to figure it out. Okay, so that has collision, but if it were a little higher, would that have actually worked? If I removed... No, okay, so that does have issues. I don't need 2 tracks. I just need the 1. So if I lowered it... Let's come down here. If I lower this, is it going to let me build it? No, but it's hilarious that it lets me do this. That is completely ridiculous. I think what I can do is... No, not that one. I think I can get this to come in here, if I remove my road and I remove that piece of the loop, I can regrade it. And that might actually work. I also probably don't need a 320-meter platform for this. And the reason I don't want to get rid of this is because this is prime passenger connectivity here. And that does allow that to connect all the way to that. That connects to that. I'm trying to keep every square inch of this city covered. And that does a very good job with that there. Okay, 240. 240 is still a problem, but the road, that road is not as important. That is not quite as important, and I've got that. Okay. Let's sacrifice that road for the benefit of all of these guys. Can I wish I could flip the platform to the other side. That would be so much easier. Because I'm not going to be able to get this in here if I move it any more that way. I could tell you what I'll do. Let's start with this. Let's move the platform to the other side. And I want to see if I can fit a cargo building here. Medium, no. Small, technically, yes. Let's try building this out. Oh no, I want platforms. Let's try building this out. I think I can get this to go if I don't. So this is only 6. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to have to... Okay, well, let's try it. There's no reason not to. Okay, let's take... I don't know that I can actually get rid of this. Oh, it actually lets me do that. All right. Medium's not going to fit anywhere, but I don't need a medium main building. I just need that, and then that's not going to connect. Where's the closest it'll connect? Here? Okay. That is objectively horrible, but... Oh boy, but it's going to work. And if I can get one more platform on this, how far do I have to move this road? I don't know. I don't know that this is going to work out the way I want it to. Well, 5 is going to let me do about as much of a train as I think this will need at this point in time. Barring that, I really don't want to have 2, but I could split to double track and then just have kind of a loop that they just cycle back and forth so they don't ever have to wait on each other. I've done that one before. Okay, now the whole reason I did this was to check and see if I could get a tunnel. There we go. Get a tunnel out of town. And that is actually not level. That's pretty close. Yeah, I wanted to go underneath the track that was going around. So now that we know that's been taken care of, let's try to fix this abomination here. And I do not believe it's going to allow me to do this. I don't want a grade crossing on that. Oh, hold on. No. We actually got something here. No, don't do that. There we go. Nope, there we go. See you, Kurt. Oh, boy. Well, I accomplished the goal that I originally set out to do, which was avoid having this loop be uninterrupted and have a train station in here. I wish I could shift this just a tiny bit more this way. Oh, wow, is this ugly. But it works. Yes. Yes, indeed. Trains, and only trains. So now what I've got to do, I'm going to bring this up here. Before I connect all my paths, I do want to see what my thing is working with here. And we're going to have passenger rail at some point as well. Now, depending on... Oh, that's an idea. I've got my city here with, shall we say, limited platform space. If I make a through station in Miramar, that could actually be a stopover transfer spot for stuff going to this other place. So I could actually have the Miramar train take everything from Miramar and whatever this city's called, and then just have a short train shuttle back and forth here. Ugly, but it works. Don't call me out. Like, I think that's most of us. Oh, it's Concord. How could I forget? Well, the devs forgot about Concord, so it's fine. This is almost able to reach everything. If this is all industrial, then they're not going to be crying about noise pollution. I think this is probably going to be the best way to do this. Just have this be like a mini hub. I hope you understand why I cannot read your whole name out in chat. But I know. I don't think I can increase the length beyond 320 meters. Unless I already did that over here. No, that's the same length. Okay. Alright, so Miramar, little tiny town, has been chosen to be a gateway somewhere else. And we're going to remove this road. That goes... Oh, nobody cares about this. And then what I will do is I'll stick that here. And there we go. This will get a little station. Not going to be for passenger stuff, although if I'm going to have a passenger... I already have Concord going all the way through here. It's skipping Miramar, going to New York. I guess that's fine. Every place has to be connected passenger-wise, at least to a main hub line. This could, depending on how I wanted to do this, could possibly connect somewhere else. But I don't know that there's going to be a great way to get that accomplished. You know why. You know exactly why. You know what you did. It's funny. Alright, so that's going to get hooked up to here. All the way to there. So that should hopefully jumpstart a little bit of industrial stuff. And now what I can do is I can get this on this here. How many times can I use the word this in one sentence? That goes there. It's all a tunnel because that's the lazy, easy way to build things these days. And very expensive. So there's your Concord right there. It goes between there and Miramar. And then Miramar can go down through here. We're connected to Akron, right? Oh yeah, that's right. I did the same exact garbage for that. Okay, so this is... I actually don't need 4. I don't need 4 tracks. I only need... Really, I only need 2. I just need to decide which 2 tracks I want to use. Which means I need to figure out if there's any production facilities in between this whole area that I haven't already used. I may need that. And I may at some point need that. So I will use to get out of here. Oh, I have to cross these. Okay, well, I've done that before. I'm going to use this. Yeah, I need to make sure that's correct. I'm going to use these 2. And then these actually could go under, but I think that would cause more problems than it would solve. So let's do this. Let's start with the inside track. And then let's start going up. I don't want it to be crazy up, but I do want it to be up. That's the same height. That's... I guess that qualifies as crazy up. No, don't do that. Don't do that. For those of you wondering why I'm building with high-speed tracks is because we're going to get 99-mile-per-hour freight cars at some point, and those obviously can't work on normal speed. All right, let me attach to this. I just need to get across here without having a pillar in the middle of a track. Somebody did not get the memo. I don't think I'm going to be able to change that, though. So, that is the close one, right? It is. All right. Well, sometimes dumb things just have to happen. Shift for smaller elevation increments. I wish I could... Oh, now it's gone. I wish I could not have that pylon right there. So I guess maybe that means I need to just do all this at once. But it likes to get angry at me when I do that. Okay, that's not... That... It still does that. Why? Why? Alright, so new plan. I have to come up here and just make this incredibly stupid. What is the closest I can get this without it being an absolute disaster? Okay, that's not going to work. I want that to go away. And I don't think it's going to let me do that. Okay, so that's where that collides, and that is already taller than it needs to be. Alright, I may have to just redo this to lower it. This is already getting, oh, no, it still adds this in there. Why? Why are you, aha. Alright, folks, that's our solution. Get this as low as I can. I guess it doesn't matter if this goes this high, but it really can't go any higher than that. Alright, now if I get this alongside and it doesn't add another... You absolute buffoons. Why are you the way that you are? As soon as I add this, it wants to put another pylon in. So if I can selectively... There we go. If I put that there, and then I put this here... Okay, I don't want to merge them. No. I also don't want that to go up anymore. That needs to go level. And if this stops at 120... Oh, really? Man. Just let me delete pylons. Or maybe I should just try to go underneath this. That's probably a better option. What'd you do today? Oh, I watched some stupid idiot try... What the heck is this? I watched some stupid idiot try to play with trains for 5 hours. Alright. Now the significantly less fun option of going underground. Now that is not going to play nice with me at all until I get substantially further out. And then I have the tunnel portal in the middle of the tracks. That's ugly. I don't like that at all. Okay, I can do that. That's still really bad. Why not flip station so you don't have to go over or under? Well, see, that would make too much sense, wouldn't it? I need to renumber the platforms. I don't know what number the platforms are. That is shockingly simple. Okay, new plan. Let this train go and then change platforms. It should be smart enough to figure it out. But yeah, this is already coming this way. We just, yeah. Oh, that is embarrassing that I did not think of that sooner. Okay, well. See, this is why I have these things as live streams. Oh, I did this in a video, I'd get absolutely crucified. Okay, let me move this down to here. That's a little S-bendy in a way that I don't really care for. Do I want to redo the bridge? I probably do need to. This all needs to be high speed at some point anyway. Okay, now let's come over here. See, look what you've done. Look what you've done. You've caused enormous, ridiculous expenses in infrastructure, which is fine. This actually is much better. Okay. Oh, this needs to be paused like you would not believe. Okay. All right, come on now. I expect this to give me a we can't figure out where we're going message. Yeah. So now I've got a problem. Okay, disconnected, cannot connect all. That is New York. New York City mixed freight could not figure it out, huh? Alright, so now Beaverburg has to change from platform 2 to platform... Oh. I managed to guess right the first time. Cool. Platform 6 it is. Wait, what? Why did that not work? Or was that a, was that a problem for this? Because this could not connect to New York City. Wait, what? Okay, see, this is why you don't do this. Because bad things happen. Oh, God. I have no idea why that happened. Or how long that's been a thing. That may have been a thing for a long time. Okay, Port St. Lucie Refinery trunk line. Okay, that is a thing that goes back to the main hub. That, I think, has to go to... Oh, it actually tells you. Cool, cool. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, those are all red. Okay, well, this is a problem that we can solve at some other point in time, because I think now this is actually working. Okay. So now I've got... I need to go here. That can be on the outside if I need to use those two, so we'll go... Flint will be on the right, and Miramar will be on the left. Boy, oh boy. If at any point for your mental health you need to dip out of stream and go watch someone who knows what they're doing, then I will totally understand. But I'm having fun. So we're going to just keep on keeping on. Okay, so that is... yes. Yet another time where I've got to go up and over something. Well, that's going to be okay. Let's bring this out here. Your idea broke it. No, I think it was probably broken before. I've just been ignoring this for a long time because there's so many complaints about the cities not having road access. So, I don't see any reason to blame you for it. Also, there's no reason for me as a streamer to blame chat for bad choices that I've made. That is disingenuous at best and mean at worst. Alright, let's do this. Then come over here, back to ground. Okay, that's actually kind of horrifying. Let's stretch this out a little bit so it's a little bit... Why are you like this? I mean, I know it's high-speed track, so it's going to want to do that. And okay, whatever, it's fine. I want that to go to the left side of town. That is just about straight, so we'll call that good enough. This is going to really not like dealing with this. This is such hilly terrain. I may end up redoing this at some point, but for now, this will be fine. Alright, so we double-tracked that. We do not need this road. Because where we're going, we don't need roads. Or environmental review. Alright, so that's done. That's done. Get this completely disconnected here. And then I still have not built a train station. So this is all residential here. And this is all industrial over here. Which actually means that should go on that side. But I don't want to deal with crossover if I need that. Why are you like this? Physics, probably. Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's see. Probably the easiest way to do this is just fundamentally alter the neighborhood characteristics. Wait a minute! This already has a train station. And this is already sending stuff to Flint that Flint wants. I didn't even need to do any of this. Well, except to get to Miramar. We'll go around the mountain since I know that was a concern. So, ooh, we want that. We want that. We want that. Where is that? Construction materials plant. Okay, good. We are probably going to have to use this based on the demand for construction materials. Well, well, well. How the turntables. We are going to single track this because... No, we're not. Because of reasons. But we are only going to have to go to Miramar instead. So... No, I don't need a tunnel. The game seems intent on making me do a tunnel, so... Ooh, I got a rat's nest here. Okay, maybe we... Okay, we definitely want a tunnel. We definitely want a tunnel. Maybe not quite... No. Okay, it's going to force me to go that deep, huh? Well... That's fine. It's fine. I just have to get over here. So this will get me to... Yeah, Miramar is going to have 2 trains that just cycle back and forth on the same double-track main line. All right. Is it dumb? Yes. Could it be worse? Also, yes. Is it worse? No. There we go. All right, so that is going to come out of... tunnel where? Here? Well, you know how this goes. It's fine. Where did my second track get left off? Right here. All right. Okay, what's collisioning and why is it angry at me? Remember, we want this to be double tracked until we get to just before the station, then we'll put a signal. Once again, a real railroad would never... Hey, I got 100 kilometers of railway tunnels in the free game, and I got an achievement. Very good. A real railroad would never, ever do this. Because it is a ridiculous waste of money when you can just use dispatchers and signals and all that. But I am not a real railroad. So I don't have to worry about it. So this does not need to go to the 2 separate platforms. This can actually be the same platform. And then we'll just have this combined in here. As far as I can make that go. And then we'll put that. And I guess right here is probably fine. So this will get 2 trains. They'll cycle back and forth because this is taking materials for Miramar and Concord. And we'll need to have all the wagons on the train to supply everything that goes to Concord. And then we'll have this just shuttle back and forth. Alright, so we need boxcar, 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 tanker. And then this version we're only having 4 different types of cargo, so that's fine. And this is not... quite connected. Is there anything in here? No. Goodbye. We will move this. No, get that out of there. move this to this track. On the left, yes. Okay. And then we'll put that there. Now we need, not the Metroliner. Well, it's 98. We're going to get something good soon. All right. Let's do 6 box cars, 2 tank cars. I didn't make the lines yet. Okay. Let's go ahead and, no. Let's duplicate that before we get too happy here. All right. So that's going all the way to Miramar. We're going to call that Miramar Concord Mixed Freight Trunk. And then we'll sit both of those trains on there. Let this one get what it needs to get, and then hopefully they'll take the path on the right, which is not blocked by a signal. Let's let this thing fill up and make sure that goes. Come on, autosave. There we go. And then we will send in the next one after a little bit of time. I cannot. There we go. I'm going to let this get most of the way to Miramar before I send this other one in. And that is about halfway. It does take time to stop at the station. I want to make sure these are kind of split apart here. Okay, let's send that. And I could, you know, if I were smart, I would have set the Concord one first. Okay, we're still waiting. Okay, around the outside is doing around the outside things. I guess easiest way to solve this, because I'm just printing money at this point. There's no challenge left in the game, so it doesn't really matter if we do things that are stupid money-wise. No, 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 no! I didn't want to click that. There we go. Okay. So now Concord needs basically the same train, but it can't be a long one. So E60. We'll do 3. We'll do 3 in 1, and then I just have to make a thing here to here, and we're going to call this Concord Mixed Freight via Miramar. Not like that matters, but I have a hard time believing we only have 40 trains. That seems low. All right, let's give this a shot. Now that this is connected, the next train that comes in should hopefully bring stuff for Concord on it. All right. So now we've got this coming in here. We should see stuff start to get piled up, if it even unloads anything. You didn't bring anything. Why? Oh, okay. This was the second train that would not have had anything loaded on it. All right. Okay. Next train that comes in should have stuff. I don't care if the condition of multiple vehicles is very bad. That's what happens. We're just going to move on. Now we have to wait for this other train to come in, and it's underground, so I have no idea where it is. I think there's also an achievement. We got the one for the tunnels. I think there's one for bridges. I do not know how close I am to that. Okay, but that's pinned. I don't have to stay over here. So if I click on here. Okay, so they are sending stuff. They're not sending everything yet, but they are sending stuff. This is ugly. Well, that's fine. So I've got a construction materials plant. I don't have... Oh, no, I do have a quarry. I have one right here. Construction materials were a big problem for us because San Diego was taking a ton of them, but now they're not. And then they were taking a ton of fuel, but now they're not. So I guess the question now is, which cities are still yearning for bricks? Okay, Beaverburg, yep. Billings only has half. This won't stay at 125 forever. Corona's getting none. Okay, so we're effectively, on bricks, we're at like 30% capacity, according to demand. So we do need this. Let's remove this road. I don't want to get rid of that. Don't need that, don't need that. Don't need any of this. And I shouldn't remove roads that people are driving on to get between cities if I don't also have a train connection, because that's just mean. But I do need... Yeah, Billings and Beaverburg probably aren't going to get a passenger connection. I do need a way to get this into here. Which I do have... Yeah, I've got a way to do that. It's just going to be a really stupid way to get there, track-wise. So let's do this. Let's do a through station. 320 meters. These people on their stupid road can wait. And that will just go directly to here. Oh, I don't want this. I don't want this. I'm gonna have to do it again. I'm gonna have to. I think probably the easiest way to do this is going to be to build it and then delete these so I can keep the curve. No, not that one. No. I wanted to delete the middle bit, and I guess it's gone now, so that's fine. This here needs to go up, and I don't know that I can get this to play nice unless I remove all of that, but this to go up here has to come up like this. That is probably still not high enough, and that is the maximum height it's going to let me go. Yeah, that's not gonna play nice. Can I nudge this at all any higher? No, I cannot. Well, I'm going to leave that there just so I have an idea of where I have to get to. Okay, that is just a tad bit ridiculous. Let's move this back to about here. And I should be able to, if I can do that. That gets me in the same general neighborhood. Now, if I come back here and I connect to this. Well. Okay. I will deal with that, and then I think I'm going to rebuild it anyway, but the important thing is I got the part I wanted, which was the stuff going over. So now this just has to get brought right in here. Okay, that looks a little better, and it does preserve our 90 mile per hour speed. Okay. So now that is connected. I just need to get the quarry connected. This is Vancouver to Corona. They have a direct railway connection, so I'm not going to cry if I, you know, ruin any of that stuff. But I'm going to remove this. I'm going to run out of time here in a little bit, but I wanted to make sure I got everything connected, like I said at the beginning of the stream. I don't need 2 tracks for this. I just need the one. Okay, let's get that there. And then, once again, high speed I can't use yet, but I will at some point soon. And I'm going to want to make sure I have that. Okay. it tunneled until all the way over here. That is, that's certainly a choice. But, we're just gonna, you know, have to live with that. Alright. So what I will do is I will go ahead and put a, what do you call it, on the other end of this. Yeah, that's definitely the correct scientific term, is a what do you call it. Let's make a line first. Okay, so that is going to be... There, let's call this... I don't even know stone. We'll just call this quarry to Beaverberg BLDG. There we go. And then that can go into the hub, and we'll call this... There. Alright, now I just need trains. I guess I don't have to have this paused. Alright, and then that... Building materials go in a gondola. I'm going to make this the maximum possible realistic capacity. Let's say 216 should be okay. And that is going to be... No, not that one. Ugh, man, what did I name that? Of course Miramar wants construction material. That's not what I want. What did I call this? Oh, it's quarry, which is not what I named any of the rest of it. Okay. Well, that's fine. This does not need to be gondolas. It needs to be flat cars to go to the hub. And we'll go for 216 on that. Okay. I might have done these in the wrong order. Yeah, I definitely did. Alright, this has to go back to the depot. And then this also has to go back to the depot. Yeah, I've got to do these in reverse order because I just have the one track. Alright. Now let's try this again. Alright, so this one, train 42, has to go first to the hub because it has to pass through everything else. And then once that one is done, I can send... Yeah, I know. Honk your horn for absolutely nobody. This one can go between the quarry. Alright, so that's left. That is... There we go. Okay. So that should solve a lot of those problems. This is transferring, it seems. Let's just check how Concord is doing. Yep, and they're getting at least a little bit of everything that they want. Miramar is getting... Well, they're not getting building materials or goods. Which we should have that problem solved pretty soon. And Flint is getting machine supply, but they're not getting goods. But that's probably because we don't have enough goods to go around. So I'm going to call that done, at least preliminarily, until I can increase goods production. This is waiting on additional steel to be able to do more production. And then, of course, as more stuff is shipped out, then that problem will solve itself. Is this train full? Technically, no. I don't know why it's not taking more and more is available. We'll have to monitor this for a little bit. First time catching a stream. Yeah, you came in, unfortunately, toward the end, but we've gotten a lot of good stuff done. And a little bit of a sidetrack along the way. Let's see if it takes all of the goods here. It's got 42 waiting to go to the hub. Okay, so that's working fine. We just need to fix the issue with this not getting enough steel. Which, where is it getting steel from? That's for plastic. Where's my train that's carrying steel? Is that this? No, it is not. That's the Concord freight one. Okay. So I guess we just need to wait for the steel train to come in. Because that is coming from this line, which I think is coming from somewhere way over here. But I don't remember. Okay, that's actually almost full. Alright. That's coming from this? Yes. So it seems like our problem is actually supply at the steel mill here. This is maxed out. This is maxed out. I don't have another... I don't have another iron mine I can bring into this, do I? I've got this up here, technically. I don't know if I can reasonably get that over here. Because I only have the 2 platforms. I guess I could combine things, but... that seems like an optimization problem we can solve later. The original goal for this stream was to get every city supplied with, well, supplies. Even if it wasn't 100%, and for the most part, that seems like that is the case. And this is, contrary to what this would lead you to believe, transporting things to the hub. So building materials should be going everywhere that needs them. Look at the city view. Miramar still has not gotten any, but that could just be because the trains haven't lined up. New York City has not gotten any. Is that because the train that's going there does not have cars for that? What is this? That's passenger. We should be getting the Acela pretty soon, based on that. Okay, we're not getting any. No, that's passenger. What is this? There is a provision for building materials. It's just not getting them. Okay. And we've got a lot of building materials or something lined up on the side here. So that's going to... that's machine supply. Okay. And then these are going to go to the hub. Theoretically, what is this? No path. Why does this not have an electric path? Because this is all... I ran into this problem before. Where some of this did not have a catenary path. But all of these tracks are electrified. Including the station. So, if there's no electric path... there was one at some point. I'm going to have to... yes, the Dash 8. Can only go 75 miles an hour, but it's got 108,000 pound-feet of tractive effort. Let's just temporarily solve that problem by putting a diesel on it. Oh, now there's no path at all! Alright, well, never mind. I guess I'm just dumb. Let's see. New York City Mixed Freight Express. Let's troubleshoot this, and then I probably do have to go. There is no warning about pathing. Okay, why? Okay, so that is that. That's fine. Uninterrupted track all the way through here. And it is on the correct... why? I just had to turn it around? What? Oh, man, that means I got rid of my GG1 for nothing. Oh, I hate that. I definitely don't want a Dash 8 on this route, so there you go. Have an E60. Oh, yeah, there's our 99-mile-per-hour boxcar and our gondola. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah, I kind of don't want to spend a bunch of time doing that right now, or I'm going to be here forever. But let's see what else we got. We should have gotten the Acela. If we did, I know I can change those out. Yeah, the Speed Dance Express. That's definitely what that's called. Okay. It's going to be easier to just find a train and do it that way. Instead of scrolling through all my lines. Alright. Show me your toasters. Alright, toasters. You have served valiantly, but your time is at an end. We have to get something that can go substantially faster. Alright, electric multiple units. 149 and they hold 102 people, so they are slightly lower capacity. However, comma, they go 149 miles per hour. So, we'll go with that. And then I will, of course, get rid of this. I don't know that I've got enough platform length to double these up. And of course, in real life, they never ran doubled up. But I guess we will see. We'll just have to follow this around a little bit. I say as it goes into a tunnel where we can't see anything. All right. It's actually the correct horn sound. Okay. So this does not have enough length to double, but it is fast enough that I don't think this is going to matter, and I may end up... Yeah, we had this one since almost the very beginning. That train number, at least. I'm just going to add another train to this. They'll space themselves out. That should be okay. That's around the outside counterclockwise. And then, of course, we do have to change these as well. So, name of the game here is going to be more frequency, slightly less capacity. And just deal with that. Let's put that in there and then come through here. And do that. And then I will duplicate you. And we'll have to watch the line to see... I don't have any of these on here. Okay, well, that's not great. Okay, passenger. No, I only want passenger. All right, we'll just say. There we go. All right, so we want the rate to go up. It's at 156 and 154. I don't know how much more it'll go up, but it should, as these new trains get integrated in there, then it should go up substantially. I know the... Okay, they are actually using those because we're within 100 of the total capacity. Alright, so that's good. I just don't know how long it's going to take to get the rest of this in here. Probably sometime soon we'll see this climb up to max capacity. It just has to get all the way around. Okay, that's freight. That was always fine. Yeah, rate is increasing. We're up to 160. I don't know how high it's going to go, but we probably won't know until we get a couple more trains all the way around. I may need to add a fifth. I just don't know exactly how this is getting distributed here. Oh, and then the passenger one going diagonally Concord to Vancouver needs to be updated as well. So let's do that real quick. I got 4 of these on here? Yikes. Okay. That actually does get a pretty good amount of use, but it's never full. It's more of a frequency issue, so this will help that. And we don't get an upgrade in terms of speed on the North American set until we get the Avelia Liberties in. That is 2018 in the game, I think. Okay. So this is... Okay, that's still around the outside. And it's full, so... Let's do... Yeah. Okay, so this is at full capacity. It's at 166. This rate should go up a little bit more now that it's full capacity. But we won't know. If it doesn't, then we'll need to add another train to this. It also could just be that not enough people want to take the around the outside currently. But it is slowly climbing, so I'm going to just go ahead and add another thing. Alright, so that's got... This is the one that needs another one. Alright. I don't know where they're getting those. I can't remember what depot spawns those trains, but that should help. That should really help a whole lot of stuff. Let's check City View. Alright, so Corona's still not getting building materials. Miramar's still not getting building materials. New York is, because I've finally fixed that. They're not getting any food. I don't know if that's because I'm out. Okay, goods are a major bottleneck, and I do not know that I have other resources necessary to create any more goods. So we might have to see, but everything is connected, freight-wise. Passenger-wise, not so much. But I don't know what we really want or need to do with that to connect every single city. There are some that are not on the loop, like Beaverburg's not on the loop, but there is passenger connection between here and here, I'm pretty sure. Well, I got a passenger platform. What is this? Okay, what equipment is this running? Metroliners. All right, well that's okay for now. So anyway, on this side of the map, the only cities that do not have passenger connectivity: Pembroke Pines, Akron, Modesto, and Billings. So we could, in theory, get everybody connected just by going to the nearest city that is connected to around the outside. That would probably be easiest, so they would go there. Akron, Pembroke Pines, and Modesto could all go to either Norfolk or Paterson. Probably Norfolk, because I already have a line here. It's just freight, because that is the yeah, okay, that's going straight through. But I could connect these two to these two, and then Akron. Honestly, Akron could probably share one with Pembroke Pines, depending on how I wanted to do it. It's probably the closest solution. Alright, so that's good. This is connected to the outside. Milwaukee could be connected to Chattanooga. New York is already on the cross line here. And then Flint and Miramar could go on a trunk line to Concord, but we already have that, so it probably would make more sense. Maybe go to San Diego. Do I have a passenger platform over here? It's hidden. Okay. Well, we can probably figure that out next stream, whenever that ends up being. Yeah, so I gotta go do other stuff. I have to go record a video for tomorrow. We're doing more Roller Coaster Tycoon. It'll be the second half of the Volcania scenario. And then we'll be back with the Beavers, of course, Monday. And then we've got... Oh, something just fell over. Good job, me. We've got on Thursday, this upcoming week, the full 1.0 release of Timberborn, so that'll be fun. I'm hoping to do a stream that day and get started with a brand new Iron Teeth playthrough, if I can make that happen, and play with some of the automation and stuff. But I'll let you guys know. The chemical plant looks full. Well, I was going to end stream, but we can click on that. Where is this? It's a transport issue. And that is going wherever the train is. I don't know where the train is. But I think that is probably solvable. I just need to find out where the train is. That's not the chemical plant. Oh. Alright, so I know. No, I want a large capacity. I don't want this stuff going to waste. Okay, this is... Nope, let me click on you. Stop it. That's refined oil supply. That's plastic. Okay, so this can definitely be lengthened. Whoa. I get the big box cars now. Okay, so that's 220. How long can I go? I can go 260. Yeah, that's like literally the maximum capacity I can put on this. But these will go 99, and I think the GG1 can do that. Leaf coats kept getting pushed to the side because I had 10 billion other things going on, but I'm going to do a playthrough with them after 1.0. I don't know when that's going to be. Because I can't even articulate how much stuff I have to take care of. I've got probably at least 3 series ahead of them. 2 of which will be started on the 12th. Technically, one of them on the 12th, one of them on the 13th. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that right now. It could be, depending on how this other stuff goes, it could be like mid-May before I could get to those. Not sure. But I do want to do another series with them and see what else is going to be new with that. I also need to do 1.0 water beavers, but I think that is going to have to wait until after I finish the first stream playthrough with the Iron Teeth and then first video series with the Folktale. So I don't know when water beavers is going to be. Realistically, that is probably closer to maybe a July start for that. Don't know. I do want to see if this unclog stuff that could actually solve a lot of our goods problems if that was the choke point. Now where is, here it is. But I think it was actually steel that we were waiting on. Yeah, steel is the issue. Well, this is definitely gonna, it's gonna help. But steel. And this is something we just have to get more raw materials, and they're going to have to come from up here, and I'm out of time to do that. So I do actually have to go, but I appreciate you guys watching the stream. The few, the proud, the transport fever people, I guess. But I will see you guys later. Have a good rest of your Saturday or very early Sunday, as it may be. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.